Zupke. I'm a registered dietitian with Northwestern Medicine and also help teach cooking classes here at Living Well. You may have been to Young Chefs or the farm to table classes that we have. We have so many fun classes. So we're sorry we can't see you right now, but we are doing these videos and little recipe ideas to hopefully help you out during these times. So today we're making baked taco cups. And it's very simple, and like most of our recipes, all Mediterranean plant-based. So we have a lot of vegetables and healthy fats. So the healthy fats are more like avocado, olive oil, and we're going to be using that in this recipe. And we also talk a lot about plant-based protein. So in these tacos, I did use some ground turkey. So we're using more chicken and fish and turkey. Less beef, but also beans is a great way to sneak in some plant-based protein. So we have kind of some ground turkey and some beans. Now these are the fat-free refried beans. So if you get those, they're much lower in added fats and sometimes don't have fat at all. And they do have a lot of good fiber, which is helpful as well. So, the other thing we have in here that's cooking is diced tomatoes. Now you can use tomatoes that you just have at home, or you can use the canned. Sometimes you can find the low sodium. I couldn't find that today. But, and this one today, what I used was the fire roasted, which adds a little pop. And then we have some sliced black olives that we can use too as a garnish if we want to. So we don't add a lot of salt to our cooking. We're trying to use herbs and other things like red pepper to give a little spice without using a lot of added sodium. So what we're going to do now is take this filling. We cooked this mostly before, and I don't know if you can see, but we've got like tomatoes and beans and turkey in there, and it just looks really yummy. And it's got that plant-based soluble fiber that we talked about, which is awesome. And it's packed full of protein. So what we're gonna do now is we've got these little flour tortillas. Now this is, I like it when we can have the whole grain, but today this was all we could find. So we're gonna use it, and we're gonna still get the fiber that we have from our tomatoes and our black beans, and we're just gonna make do, because that's what you have to do in the kitchen sometimes. So in order to make these kinds of tacos, you use a muffin tin, and you take the smaller tortillas are a little better, but I've made them with the bigger tortillas. You just have a little bit more of a lip, but they still work. So all you do is kind of fold a little triangle in to make like a cone, and then that fits really nicely into your muffin tin. So the recipe calls for spraying with olive oil. I haven't really had to do that. So you can do it if you feel like your muffin pans are gonna stick a little bit, but I really haven't had problems with that. So you just take your tortilla, and again, you can see just kind of fold it in on itself to make a little cone. And then you may need to spread them out on the muffin tin just a little bit. This muffin tin has plenty of room, so I could actually put them right next to each other if I wanted. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna just fill in about a third of a cup, or it's about a third of a cup, but it's also about a third of the taco. And you just put a little bit of that filling right in each one of the tacos. And you know, some of them are going to be a little bit different shape depending on how you folded it, but they'll all work fine, so don't worry. And then once you have that in, you can do a couple of things. Now, I like to add the cheese for sure before you bake them. So you add just a little bit of cheese. You can use a little cheddar, or you could do the low-fat mozzarella if you're watching your fat intake. And then, so you just put that right on top. And then you can either cook the tomatoes with the tacos, or you can put them on after for a garnish. So I like to do the fresh tomatoes after, but the guacamole you might want to do right before, because it'll be nice and melted, and it'll be really yummy in there. So you can do that. The tomatoes will give it a nice texture at the end, which is nice. And then you can add whatever kinds of vegetables you want. In this particular recipe, we do have garlic powder and onion powder. We didn't use garlic salt. Garlic powder is going to be a little bit healthier and decreasing of your sodium. And we do have the tomatoes, as we mentioned. So now what we would do is we would bake these at 375 for about 10 minutes, and the cheese will get melted and the cups will get nice and firm. So then you can pick them right up, as you can see right here. They kind of stay together, and they're a beautiful presentation. And then you can add some fresh cilantro and maybe even a squeeze of lime right when you're about to serve it. So isn't that beautiful? That's the fun thing about Mediterranean cooking. It's beautiful just with the vegetables and the fresh foods that we have here. So I have a little taco sauce here. If you like spicy, you could add that on at the very end. Just a little bit of a drizzle. And then you're ready to go. All right, well, thanks so much for joining us today on another episode of Quick Bites, and hopefully we'll see you next time. Have a good day.